From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
While it is very cold, obviously, outside, it is a bit warmer than it was yesterday. Our current temperatures 27 in Lansing, Grand Rapids 26, same thing in Jackson. Satellite radar shows some cloud cover out there and some snow showers to our north, but for the most part, shouldn't be a major issue for us for the evening hours. Across the region, temperatures in the UP, teens and 20s. For us, for the overnight hours, we'll see cloudy to mostly mid-teens tomorrow morning, maybe a few snow showers on the way tomorrow. A little better chance of some accumulations later this week. 6 News at 5 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 5.
President-elect Donald Trump making plenty of threats today at a press conference, saying he will not rule out taking Greenland and the Panama Canal by force. It's our top story today at 5. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones. President-elect Trump says he will revoke an offshore oil and gas drilling ban announced by outgoing President Joe Biden. The comments came during a wide-ranging news conference at Mar-a-Lago. Christian Benavides is here for you now from West Palm Beach, Florida.
President-elect Donald Trump railed against President Biden's ban on new offshore oil and gas drilling developments.
I will reverse it immediately. It'll be done immediately, and we will drill, baby, drill.
Speaking Tuesday with less than 2 weeks to go until he takes office, Trump also refused to rule out the use of military force to take control of the Panama Canal and Greenland, where a delegation of 8, including his son, Donald Trump Jr., is visiting.
We need them for economic security.
Greenland's government says it is not for sale. When it came to the remaining hostages Hamas took from Israel, including several Americans, the president-elect did not mince words.
If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East.
The president-elect also reiterated his support for those charged in connection with the January 6th attack on the Capitol.
So we'll be looking at the whole thing, but I'll be making major pardons, yes.
The news conference came the same day a Trump-appointed judge temporarily blocked the public release of special counsel Jack Smith's report on investigations into Trump involving allegations of election interference and the alleged mishandling of classified documents. Christian Benavides, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
The president-elect also said he plans to rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. And as he's set to take office, President-elect Trump has promised mass deportations as part of his next term. And some city leaders are trying to figure out what that will mean for their police departments. Nick Simon is here for you now and tells us why so-called sanctuary cities are bracing for the worst.
Sherry, at their most basic level, sanctuary policies are anything that limit a city or a county from spending their resources on immigration enforcement. But the incoming administration has threatened to take away federal funding for places that pass these. That includes Lansing and East Lansing. Towns that pass these policies tell their officers that they're not allowed to ask about someone's citizenship. That means if the federal government asks where illegal immigrants are, the city won't have a list to give them. Local law enforcement also can't engage in immigration raids, perform the duty of an ICE agent, or hand someone over to ICE without a specific federal warrant. Officers also can't profile people that they think might be undocumented and are expected to treat everyone the same. Immigration experts tell me that the definition can get a little bit tricky, but it all comes down to action.
So some cities and counties may say they're a sanctuary community, but then not really have any policies on the books to back it up. And then other cities may in practice have policies that are protecting immigrant residents, but they're not calling themselves sanctuary cities. So that's why there's really not one definitive list.
We're still waiting to see how the incoming administration chooses to define sanctuary cities, but we can expect them to cast a wide net, and cities like Lansing and East Lansing could be in the crosshairs. I talked with city officials about that, and we'll have that side of the story coming up at 6 News at 6. Back to you.
Thank you, Nick. Well, the Biden administration has awarded $325 million to a semiconductor plant near Saginaw. Hemlock Semiconductor is the only U.S.-owned manufacturer of hyperpure polysilicon. That's a key component in electronics and solar panels. The U.S. Department of Commerce made the announcement today. The funding comes from the CHIPS Incentives Program and is expected to help pay for construction of a brand new facility. The company says it will allow them to hire more than 1,000 new workers. Well, these cold temperatures are leading to an extension of the Code Blue weather plan in the capital city. Code Blue allows shelters to temporarily increase capacity and alter their hours. It's in effect until at least tomorrow. Now, in addition to that, the Capital Area Transportation Authority will provide those in need with free rides to warming shelters. In the greater Lansing area, those include the Advent House on North Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, City Rescue Mission on South Cedar Street, and Holy Cross New Hope Community Center on North Larch Street. Safety officials are reminding everyone to be prepared for these freezing conditions. And if you do Laura Thaxton is an English teacher at Ionia High School. She won a cash prize of $2,000. Thaxton says she was inspired to become an educator because of teachers that she had who believed in her. One of her students says that she goes out of her way to make sure that every single student that not only walks into her classroom but into the school is cared for. Well, the whole state of Michigan has Lions fever with dreams of a trip to the Super Bowl, and now just about everyone is showing their support. The Spirit of Detroit statue is ready to go for the Lions playoff push. Crews dressed it up in a Honolulu Blue Lions jersey yesterday, so plenty of people stopped by to get a picture with it. It's a tradition in the D every time a team gets in a playoff run. One of the first times the city put a jersey on the statue was back in 1997 when the Red Wings won their first Stanley Cup in decades. And during the last 25 years, the Pistons, the Tigers, the Michigan Wolverines have all had their jerseys on the statue as well. Well, the American Red Cross is ready to give you free Super Bowl tickets if you give blood. Okay, well, not everyone is going to get tickets, of course, but if you do donate, you will be entered for a chance to get a trip to New Orleans to watch Super Bowl 59 and hopefully our Detroit Lions. Well, people who give blood before January 27th will automatically be entered to win. The Red Cross says blood is desperately needed after the holidays.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
For those that have been waiting to see some big snow, and the bad news is I don't have a major winter storm on the way, but we do have enough snow chances that it probably will begin to accumulate as we head throughout the rest of the week, and especially this weekend. Our snow potential, moderate amounts of snow, meaning at least 3 inches possible in mid-Michigan. Along the lake shore, there's some red showing up, indicative of some lake effect heavier bands that will set up over the next 6 days. The odds we see at least 2 inches of snow, it's not all that high, but Friday evening into very early Saturday morning, that's our first real chance of slightly more widespread snow. So you kind of combine these two, probably around a 30 or 40% chance we get at least 2 inches, decent chance there. And then again on Monday, another system moves through, and then yet another system by the middle of next week. None of them major, but all of them will bring at least some widespread snow to the area, and it's going to be cold enough for snow. We're in the lower 20s as we head into tomorrow, so colder weather returns. Slightly warmer for Thursday and Friday. Weekend looks mild, highs in the upper 20s. It's still below average, and then mid to upper 20s as we head throughout much of next week. So no real relief from the cold weather. Satellite and radar, some lake effect snow showers to our north. Satellite arrow there on the end. The clouds don't suddenly just cut off like that. So we look at precision cast tonight through tomorrow morning with the wind flow mainly along the lake shores where most of the lake effect will be found, but a few snow showers will sneak inland from time to time. So a chance for some flakes tomorrow. Southwestern corner, maybe as close as Hillsdale, picking up an inch or so of snowfall. That should be about the extent of it. Then as we move through Thursday morning, cold front sets up to our west. As that begins to head east, it'll have a band of snow with it, and there may be an area of low pressure that tries to form on this front, but either way, I do think that by Friday into Friday night, early Saturday morning, along this front, we'll have a chance for some slightly more widespread snow. Nothing too heavy, but a couple inches certainly seem possible. Current temperatures 26 in Howell, Mason 28 degrees, same in St. John's, 26 in Jackson. We've seen plenty of wind around today as well. Wind chills currently sitting in the mid to the upper teens across the area. On the Skyview network, still mostly cloudy skies. On the McLaren cam, 29 degrees the current temperature. Wind gusts today only 15 miles per hour. Here's the view in Grand Ledge. A few breaks showing up. Saw a little sunshine on my drive into work today. Not much, but a little bit. 28 is the current temp. Humidity at 60. 55%. Wind gust today at 18 miles per hour. Jackson, Cam, similar numbers, 26 degrees, west winds at 6, so a feels like temperature of 19 degrees. And final stop in Hillsdale with lots of clouds around. Current temperature, that's at 27 degrees, humidity 72%. No wind chill since the winds are currently calm. Tonight's forecast, expect a low temperature down to 16 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Then moving into tomorrow, there'll be a few hit and miss flurries or snow showers. Temperature wise, it's going to be cold, 21 at noon. Highs tomorrow afternoon near 23. Thankfully, the winds aren't all that strong, so wind chill not a huge concern for tomorrow. Over the next 6 days, lots of snow chances. We'll go through this. Friday, especially afternoon and evening, that's first chance for significant, more widespread snow, but nothing heavy. Upper 20s for Saturday. Then as we head into Sunday, another system moves in. Sunday evening into Monday, that'll give us another chance for slightly more widespread snow, but again, nothing too heavy. Upper 20s for highs Sunday and Monday. Tuesday, a few snow showers. Wednesday, we've got a clipper system in the area. That usually brings some of that fluffy snow, mid-20s for highs. And then it stays cold into next weekend with a few more snow showers by next Saturday and Sunday. So not one major winter storm, but lots of minor systems, and eventually those minor systems add up to a little shoveling.
Yes, they do, and we might be in the next 12 days or so.
I should have rephrased it. That adds up to some fun sledding.
I like that better, actually.
Yeah, that sounds like more fun.
Well, you know, when it's not bitterly cold, we're not talking negative numbers
Right,
or
it's not
anything like that. No.
Polar vortex, sub-zero
No.
cold weather. So,
No.
I mean, we're okay. It's cold, but it could be a lot colder.
That's right. And we thought that the code blue might actually be extended until tomorrow, but they're telling us it ends at 6 o'clock tonight for the city of Lansing.
Good.
All right. Thanks, David. Well, honoring